again. I'm back, just as promised as yesterday. So those of you who watched my video got a little bit of an understanding of what endometriosis is, and I promised that I would come back on live again tonight to talk to you about my life and what exactly happened in leading up to my diagnosis. So jump on this little time machine with me as I take you back 12 years, back to the summer of 2005. So basically, it was just a normal day for me. I was just getting used to a new job and a new life. I woke up feeling a little achy in my abdomen area, but I kind of thought it was a little weird because my menstrual cycle is usually not irregular, and it was not that time of month for me yet, so was not sure why I was feeling that way. But I went on about my day and went to work. Unfortunately, as the day progressed, the pain got worse. So not thinking anything of it again, I went home, put my heating pad on, started to feel a little bit better. So maybe I started thinking maybe it was something that I ate that just did not agree with me. So I brushed it off as if nothing was wrong. And as the days and the weeks went by, the pain just progressed. When I got my cycle, it was actually the worst I have ever had in my entire life. So I started getting concerned, and I was talking with my mom about it, and she told me that maybe you need to go see a doctor. Well, it's not really something I wanted to do. Like I said, new job, no insurance. So how can I afford a doctor right now? I could barely afford my bills at the time. So she talked me into it, and I went to visit my physician, my family physician, and she started pressing on my abdomen area and my stomach area, but was very concerned by my reaction. It basically put me into tears. I'm not gonna lie. I was literally crying like a baby on that table. But she couldn't feel anything. She couldn't exactly understand why, I was hurting so bad. So she decided to do some blood work and test me for multiple things. Actually a couple of them being cancerous conditions, which really had me worried. A couple of them were ovarian cancer, uterus cancer, and even endometrial cancer. So at the age of 21, could you just imagine what was going through my mind? I was freaking out. I'm not going to lie, I was freaking out. I'm 21 years old. Why am I being tested for cancer? Is it really that serious? But she just wanted to rule it out just to be on the safe side. But the blood work came back normal, which was still kind of iffy and still a little concerning as to what exactly is going on. So she decided to send me to the hospital and have a ultrasound done, internal ultrasound. That came back fine. Nothing came back on it. Then she sent me for an MRI. Still nothing. And then finally a CT scan. So when she got all those retest results back, and she's just dumbfounded as to what it possibly could be, she decided to refer me to a OBGYN specialist. My very first, this is going to be mind-blowing. It's still mind-blowing to me, to be honest with you. My very first OBGYN visit was not very impressive, to be quite honest with you. She ran more tests, did a pelvic exam on me, did another ultrasound, and nothing came up. So her response to me was, "There's nothing wrong with you. I don't see anything out of the norm. Here's something to keep you comfortable." She gave me some pain pills, sent me on about my way. There was no way with that amount of pain that I was in that there was nothing wrong. So I decided to go out and seek a second opinion. This is where it gets good. So I had another visit with a different OBGYN. I told her what happened at my last appointment. I gave her a rundown of all the scans and everything that I had going on. And so she wanted to see for herself. She did another pelvic exam. Fun for me, right? More tests, another ultrasound, and nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing came back. Why is that? Nothing came back, and she had no answer for that. So her response to me is, "There is nothing wrong with you." That's the second time I've heard that. "There is nothing wrong with you. I see you've received pain pills from your other doctor. Are you just out to get more pain pills?" What? To be honest, I'm not a drug addict. I don't like drugs. It was hard for me just to take the painkillers that the first OBG gave me because I'm terrified of what could happen. I've seen people, have bad reactions and actually overdose. I'm not that kind of person. So for her to say something like that to me was very offensive. So naturally, I got up and I walked out. I was done. I didn't want anything to do with doctors anymore. I didn't want a third opinion, but unfortunately, the pain progressed. The pain got worse and worse and worse, and it started to affect my job performance. So I contemplated, after talking with my mom, I contemplated again, and she started doing some research online as far as what my symptoms are, what conditions actually go with the symptoms that I have. And one actually that really struck her was endometriosis, which is very rare at that time. So she talked me into calling my family physician. I explained to her exactly what happened and what the other doctors told me, which she was appalled by, to be honest. So she referred me to a women's specialist, which is, I guess, top-notch OBGYNs out there. You have to have a referral for that. So after researching for answers and being tested for cancer, being told there's nothing wrong with me, and pretty much being called a drug addict, I finally found a doctor that believed me and knew exactly what was wrong with me just by me explaining to him what my symptoms were and doing yet another pelvic exam, which is something at that time I was like, hey, I'm getting pretty good at this, which was very relieving to me. What was mind-blowing to me was the fact that why didn't these other doctors know about this condition? And that's before I could even get it out of my mouth. What about endometriosis? My mom researched it. What about endometriosis? He said it himself. I know exactly what it is. I know what you have just by your symptoms, by your reaction to this pelvic exam, and pretty much from what I feel on the inside. It's endometriosis. Unfortunately, however, one thing that I cannot diagnose you with it is without laparoscopic surgery. I have to perform a laparoscopic surgery on you before I can diagnose you with it. So I was all for it until he told me the price. And he realized, oh, you don't have insurance yet. I just went full-time with my job. I just applied for insurance. However, it didn't kick in until the first of the year. And I still had a good month until my insurance kicked in. So he told me to just kind of take it easy until my insurance kicks in. Once it does, then we'll set up for the surgery and we'll go on to recovery. So he gives me painkillers again. But this time he was very smart about it. He gave me something at night and pretty much explained to me what to take at night to help me stay comfortable so I can get a good night's sleep and be pain-free for the time being. And then he also gave me something that was a little low-key that I could take while I was at work. But as stubborn as I am and as freakish as I am with it, I never took it at work. The only thing I did take was ibuprofen, which did not work. As progressed as it was, it just did not work. So about a month later, the pain got so bad, even the pain pills were not working at all. I had a hard time doing my job functions. It got to the point to where my manager was sending me home more than me staying at work. My legs would start going numb. I was not able to have good posture because I was constantly doubled over from the pain being so bad. And it even got to the point to where I was passing out from the pain. There was even this one evening I was out getting dinner and I came home and I was taking dinner inside the house and I just collapsed in the front yard of my brother's house. My brother comes rushing out. I mean, that's me after collapsing. I don't remember anything, to be honest with you. But my brother told me he tried for a good 30 minutes or so to wake me up. He said I was coherent, but I was not responsive. So he called the ER, and the ER told him, go ahead and bring her in. And then next thing I know, I'm waking up with about 5 or 6 doctors hovering over me, trying to figure out what's going on. So from there, after the doctors got me all comfortable, and sedated. I called my doctor, my OBG, and told him what was going on. He said, that's it, enough is enough. We can't do this anymore. You cannot continue to go through this. Passing out is not good. What if you were in a car? That could have been really bad. So the following Tuesday, which was just a couple of days later, we scheduled my surgery, and I went. Had my very first surgery, and I was on a quick road of recovery and back to work within 3 weeks. So that is how it all started with me in the beginning of endometriosis and how I found out. But there's one thing I want to leave you with for tonight. My message to you is, don't settle. Do not settle. If you strongly believe that something is wrong and a doctor you went to cannot figure out exactly what's going on, don't settle. Get a second opinion. Just because, even if the second opinion gives you an answer or offends you like mine did, go for a third, go for a fourth, go for a fifth. You just don't know. I mean, there's special doctors out there that can figure out, and every doctor is different. They can always figure out, they're more knowledgeable, and they can pinpoint exactly what your symptoms are and what's going on. Mine could have been, it could have been much worse. And to be honest with you, which this is something I will cover later, the extent of my surgery and what was found inside during my surgery, if it would have lasted any longer, it would not have been good. So my favorite phrase is always, early detection is the best protection. And that, to me, that doesn't just cover with breast cancer, but that also covers with anything medical that goes on with you. So if you have a hunch or you do some research and a doctor tells you, though, there's nothing wrong with you, you just want pain pills, don't settle. Please, don't settle. Find another doctor. Keep doing your research. Because only you know what's going on. You know what's going on with your body. You know what's best. So, tomorrow, this is going to be good. And hope it goes good because he doesn't know it yet. But I want to cover what life is like with endometriosis and relationships. So, my husband is going to join me tomorrow. And I want him to tell all of you what it's like to live with someone with full-blown endometriosis as it comes back and as it progresses and how it gets worse. So, stay tuned tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining in. Have a good night.